Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, episode 10.
10.
Of course, yeah, number 10. We're back with a
mad,
bang. It's flown by, isn't it, lads? It's been absolutely mental how quickly these episodes have been going by. But we finally, let's just start off quickly by introducing ourselves. So I am your host, Maz, and of course I'm always joined by the legends that are Ryan and Ben. How are we all, chaps?
Fantastic. Love that intro.
No, I love it. Fantastic.
Well, so it's only taken 10 episodes, right? And now we finally won a game of football. So
we've reached, yes, finally. The curse has been broken.
The curse has been lifted. I hope everyone's happy.
I was getting worried that we were actually the catalyst behind every
sleepless nights.
Yeah, I thought it was us, but thankfully, boys, we finally got a win under our belt. So just for everyone who's listening and watching out there, this is our first ever podcast that we've actually been able to talk about a Brighton win, which is incredible.
How lovely.
Yeah, which is very, very nice. Makes a nice change. So without further ado, boys, actually, no, quickly, before we go into it, how was everyone's weekends? Go on, Ryan,
good.
You, go on, Ben, you kick us off.
All right.
Go on, Ben.
Well, yeah, actually, what did I do? All I remember a highlight on Sunday. I learned a bit how to play chess with my grandpa. Didn't get very far, but played a few games. Played against the computer on chess.com. And then we thought, right, let's take it to the streets. So we played some bloke from Pakistan. And we lost, unfortunately, yeah. My grandpa said he knew how to play it well, but he didn't. Yeah, he was calling everyone else a novice, but he actually ended up being rubbish. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can play. I'm not saying I'm really good, but I'm decent.
Yeah, Ryan the Grandmaster.
1v1 me on chess.
Yeah, of course. I'll checkmate you in 3 seconds.
Ben, with all due respect, Ben, you don't strike me as a chess player, to be honest.
That's what I want to do. I want to break the mould. You know, I don't want people to judge me straight away. Oh, Ben plays chess. Oh, what a legend.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't think anyone would ever look at you and think that. But anyway,
and also,
Ryan...
I don't think anyone looks at a chess player and says, what a legend either. So that's a good point.
Well,
it's not the coolest thing.
Actually, you say that. It's that new show on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's
the Queen's Gambit.
The Queen's Gambit,
I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's all about chess.
You can actually play the character on chess.com. And this isn't an ad for chess.com either, but shout out chess.com if you do want to sponsor.
What a great Brighton podcast.
We're talking about chess.
Give it a rest, Ben. Give it a rest.
We finally won a game, and the first minute or 2 minutes we're talking about chess.
Yeah. No, all right, lads. Let's get into it then. Let's not waste any time. So of course, we did finally win a game under our stewardship. It was 2-1, and of course, let's just start off like from the beginning, I suppose. Let's just sort of work our way from the beginning towards the end. So obviously we got off to a great start. I thought it was a very open game. I don't know about you two, but I thought both teams looked a bit shaky at the back, but good going forward. And I suppose that's sort of been the story of our season, I suppose, so to speak. But what about you, Ryan? What do you think in terms of like how open the game was? Was that a surprise, or was that something you expected?
It was. I'll tell you what. It was quite nice to have a game where we didn't not take our chances. For the first time this season, we've been clinical in front of goal.
Yeah.
It's not like we're here going, "Oh, didn't take our chances, play well." We actually took our chances. Danny Welbeck, Maz.
Yeah.
Come outside in the world, Alec. You need to come outside, mate. Because he was really, really good as well off the ball. He played really, really well. It was just a day where we can. Oh God! But no, it was good. Like it was really impressive. Although defensively, not so good, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah. Let's focus on the positives. No, but talking of the defence, actually, Ryan, it's a good point you make. I personally I think he's a great player, and he's still got a lot to improve. But I personally think Webster, didn't have his best game. I thought, there was a couple of times, especially remember in the second half, there was one where he didn't clear the ball, and they nearly had a really good chance, and then he just looked a bit shaky. I don't know what you lot thought about that, but I just thought it wasn't his best game, and ultimately he didn't cost us the game, which is good. But I feel was it? I just don't know why because he's played quite well, and I didn't really know why he had that shakiness within him. I don't know if it was
it's set pieces again, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're always conceding set pieces. It's so frustrating. I
saw loads of people moaning about that on like Twitter and social media, like how bad we are with set pieces. What I suppose to any of you, I don't know if we're no experts, but what do you think it is? Like, why do you think we struggle so much with set pieces?
Honestly, I've no idea.
I'll be honest,
must be communication, because it seemed like it was Webster was meant to be marking them originally,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I think people started looking at Ben White, but I think it was ultimately Webster's fault for letting Konsa go. But God knows how
you might be right.
How can you let someone go like that in the Premier League? I do not know.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? And what was it?
As well as that, I think it's goalkeeping situation as well. Like, I love Matty Ryan, but he doesn't command his box, and I think that's probably that is the only thing that's the biggest problem with him. He doesn't command his box. He doesn't provide a presence.
It's a good
and
point,
I think
actually.
that's probably what the issue is.
Because remember when?
I think if we had a big,
I was going to say, remember
we had
the
a big
ball
6'6".
The ball got hoofed in, and like Matty Ryan claimed it, and Basuma like ignored him and headed it out. You remember that as well? So I think it's a good point you made.
Exactly. It's not commanding. Yeah, it's not. We haven't got this big 6'6" goalie that everyone else seems to have that can really boss everyone around. I don't want to be getting on Matty's back a bit, but yeah, I think that's the problem with us at the back.
But he did play well though. He did do very well, I think.
Yeah, he did make some great saves. I'm just saying in terms of set pieces, it's a bit like,
and Brian, you mentioned that we don't have a 6'6" goalkeeper, mate. We've got Sanchez, 6'5", isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We've got one, but we don't play him where he is. But as I say, he had a good game, so he made some good saves. I can't slate him for the goals, but yeah, that's just one of the things I'd say. The commanding of the 6-yard box.
No, I agree. I think it's a combination of sometimes us losing, like, lack of concentration, like you said, Ben. Like where was the marking for Konsa? You know, no one was around him. Yeah. What was the other game? I think it was the game before when I was moaning about them not marking the player. Who was against Spurs? Gareth Bale.
Yeah, Bale.
An absolute free header again. So
it was Webster again, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think
Ben White made a mistake a few games prior to that as well. I remember that.
Oh, Rashford
was it Man United? Was it Man United's header?
Rashford, I think, sat him down.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Oh no, but like McTominay scored a header, didn't they? League Cup. I remember that as well.
Yes, I think they're going to take some time to adapt to each other because obviously White coming in's new. Webster's only been there for a year with Dunk, and he took a while to adapt anyway. So we've got like 3 good centre backs, but they haven't really played together too much yet. If you know,
and Dunk took a bit of time to get his mojo back.
Yeah, he was a bit shaky. He was quite shaky.
He was a bit shaky. I was a bit worried.
Thank God he skied that over the bar, didn't he? Because I think it was Dunk's mistake. Watkins was through, and then God knows how Trezeguet missed that. He seems like
it's actually Webster that blocked that off the line as well. To be fair,
really? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
that's the thing. It's one of those. It's one of those things. I know. I think we're so used to not having anything positive to talk about. We're focusing on the negatives, but of course, there's a lot of positives, obviously. So let's just start off with Danny Welbeck, and I know Ryan, you praised him a lot, and I actually, I'm going to put my hands up. I'm going to put my hands up and admit that I looks like I'm wrong on this one. I know it's still early doors, but just from the first 2 or 3 games that he's played, he's actually looked really good, and he's offered us something we didn't have, and I think that's the key thing. He definitely offers us something we don't have elsewhere in the squad. But mate, his finish was sensational. Like, it reminded me of who was it? Was it Ozil in the in that little scoop little finish he did, it reminded that sort of like that, that class. But unbelievable. But the question I've got is where the hell was Villa's defence? Like, all of a sudden the camera just panned, and I was like, Welbeck's through on goal. Like, oh my god, I can't believe what's going on.
What made me more happy than us
Mings
scoring?
Is the biggest myth.
That's because Mings made them Mings was in no man's land, and I was like, thank God.
He's so bad. I don't get how people rate him.
You don't like him,
right?
You don't like him, Ryan, do you?
No, I just think he's a fraud. I literally don't even think. I don't get how people rate him. How he gets in that England team, I have not. Anyway, I'm not here to slate Mings.
No, we are. That's exactly what we're doing. We are here to slate Mings because it was a bit. It was like
it'll come back and bite me.
It was like the Tyrone Mings Lewis Dunk derby. That was because two centre backs that have been on people's lips when it comes to England centre backs. So. Yeah, Mings made a big mistake, and
to be fair, Dunky wasn't exactly.
Dunk nearly did.
Yeah.
I know, but we didn't concede from it, so
Yeah, I mean, Dunk didn't have his best game. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And of course, March's goal as well. We got to talk about 2 incredible goals. March's finish on his weaker foot as well. I was so happy.
We didn't know he had that, by the way.
Yeah,
didn't know he had a right foot.
Yeah, literally. I don't think he did. I think he mentioned it in his interview after. He's like, because I just
he did.
He said he just hit it and sort of hit and hope really. But mate, unbelievable finish. And I think it was just 2. That's what I remember you saying earlier, Ryan, about how we've finally sort of taken our chances in the game. And I went on a podcast with this Villa podcast the other day after the game. And they literally said to me, right, they go, oh, you guys just took your chances, didn't you? And, it shows like, that was sort of the difference in the game. And I was like, yeah, you'd be surprised that, we've been moaning this whole season how we haven't been. Whereas teams think that, we've got this sort of this record of being really, really good going forward, but can't sort of convert it into points. And I think, that's what we've said all season.
It's the Welbeck effect.
Yeah. Lord Welbeck, up the boy.
But no, do you know what? I've got to give credit to Solly March going back on that, because I've been a massive critic of March. I think if anyone's followed me on social media for the last couple of years, like they'll know that I've always been quick to say March had a bad game. But this season, he's been fantastic. I think he's found his position. That left wing back role really, really suits him, because maybe he's not the best going forward alone, and he's not the best defensively alone. But the combination of the both of them, I think, he's looked really good, and he's been probably one of our players of the season so far.
His delivery's improved as well, isn't
quite
it?
under the radar.
Definitely.
He's been brilliant. I can't say a bad word about Solly this season. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, no, I was the same. I'll be honest with you. Like, I thought he was a bit of a squad player. I didn't really understand what he was really there for, like, with all due respect, but
why we kept him as well.
Exactly. I felt like he was one of those players that, because he was like come up through the ranks. It was sort of a bit of a from the club. They wanted to, be loyal to him and all that sort of stuff. And fair play to the club, like, for doing that. And the fact that it's paid off now and he's playing so well, and that was a huge boost to us before the game, wasn't it? Because obviously he was a doubt, and the fact that he was declared fit and obviously played 90 minutes, I think it was.
And played well.
Yeah, played well. Got the match winner. He was class, and he's definitely been, like you said, one of our better players. So that's been class.
On the other side of the pitch, we got Tariq Lamptey tearing it up again. He was class once again, like, causing so much trouble for that Villa defence. Matty Target must have shat himself when he saw him running at him every single time. He's like, oh god, and Tyrone Mings as well.
I think with Lamptey, he set the bar so high now.
Yeah.
Like, I think we just sort of expect him to be doing that every week. And when he doesn't, we don't notice him as much. Like, we're used to having a right back that breaks the play down and then puts a pass forward. But now we've got Lamptey, who just attacks and then defends and then attacks again.
Yeah. And
he's sometimes playing up front and he's playing through the middle. He's all over the place.
It surprises me every game, though.
So hard.
Every game I'm like, oh my god, he is that good. Every game I'm like, oh my god, he's so good. It's not even got ball in it.
I'll be honest with you. I get what you guys are saying, definitely, and I agree. He's an incredible player. However, I am going to be that guy and say I still think he's still got a lot to learn, and he's still got and there's still elements of his game which I'm a bit like, okay, you still need to work on that. But he's what, 19, 20? I think just turned 20. He's still got so much time, and he's going to develop a lot under Potter. So I get what you guys are saying, but at the same time, I just don't want to sort of hype him up too much, because not that he strikes me as that kind of player, but I just don't want to be us as a fan base and be like, oh my god, he's incredible, and then he gets complacent and then just sort of becomes a bit mediocre.
Imagine if he does a Ravel Morrison. He does a Ravel Morrison.
ends up in Mexico.
I can't see that happening.
Nick and Solly March's watch. Because remember, Ravel Morrison nicked Patrick Severa's watch and he got done for it. Imagine
he did.
Tariq Lamptey.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, mad thing. Well, he doesn't strike me as that kind of guy.
No, definitely not. Definitely.
But let's talk about the sort of. I suppose we've sort of left the best till last. So obviously, towards the end of the game, there was two big talking points. So let's start off with Lamptey. Obviously, Lamptey sort of going on quite nicely. Of course, he's sending off. So I think we're all in agreement that it was a very, very harsh sending off. And wasn't very just. Like, personally, I'll kick it off. I think personally that, so again, on the Villa pod I was on, I thought it was a very harsh decision, and I don't think it should have been a second yellow. However, in saying that, I think he's given the referee a decision to make by doing what he did. Now, we talked off camera, didn't we? He did get a lot of jip from Grealish, who called him, I think it was pussy boy or something like that.
No, I think he called Veltman.
Oh, okay.
No, Trezeguet elbowed Veltman literally moments before that.
Yeah.
And then Grealish ran over to him. Do you remember he picked him up by the shirt? Grealish was booked and called Veltman a pussy.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to...
So he didn't get sent off for that?
No. Grealish. No, he just got yellow. And then
how did Grealish for starting all these fights?
Yeah, and then literally the next play after calling Veltman a pussy, he dives over the pitch and gets Lamptey sent off. Like, he's a joke.
But that's the thing. So
I love Grealish. Like any other game, for every other game when we're not playing against him
as a player.
But when he plays against Brighton, I hate him. Other than that,
mate. I think you're spot on, Ryan. Like I've said this to all, like in my WhatsApp groups. He's an incredible player, Grealish. He's incredible, but his play acting and the way sometimes he draws fouls. And to be fair, on the flip side, again, I'll keep referring back to the Villa pod, but it's nice to get their perspective on it. They said that. So what they said to me specifically was, it's nice for them to have got that decision because of all the amount of times apparently that people get away with fouling Grealish. Now I was a bit like that.
Guy spent 20 minutes on the floor.
Yeah. I was a bit like, okay, I get what you're saying a little bit, but the fact that you're basically saying that he deserved that red card because of what other people have done to him. I was just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like
he's still been fouled like 200 and something times, hasn't he? Like,
yeah.
So he's obviously winning fouls. And I even bit when he posted on Instagram, his caption was, "Don't know how we came away with a loss there," and I commented saying, "It's because you spent 90% of the game on the floor, mate." I was caught so bad. Yeah.
It's so hard not to bite on it. I think I commented on his Twitter as well.
Oh, that was good.
Diving cheat or something like that.
No, it was also the VAR thing, wasn't it? He said so VAR annoying. Equals LMAO or whatever.
Oh yeah, but that was.
And I quoted it with a photo of the.
That was
funny. Basically, for people who don't know, they survived literally because of a VAR / goal line technology error, and I tweeted a photo of the thing that happened.
Yeah,
and it's just he's so annoying. But he can easily get to people. I think.
It's weird.
I think that's what he did. That's what he did. He got into Lamptey's head, and Lamptey went and had that little nick on him. And then like I said, the referee's been then put in a position where he's got to make a decision. So it was one of those things, and it's frustrating because we're going to lose him for the Liverpool game, which
but the referee,
going to be big.
I don't know if he didn't really have a good game. The one good thing he done was having the balls to overturn his actual decision of the penalty. That's the one good thing he done that game.
Yeah, that wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, so
that was not a penalty. I'm going to start that off. It's not. A penalty.
Let's talk about that. So Ryan, you're 100% no penalty. Ben,
no chance.
No penalty. No penalty.
And 100% no penalty for me. So Ryan, kick us off then. Why was it not a penalty in your eyes?
Well, he got the ball. So, March, he got the ball. He didn't really I saw people saying that he clipped his shin or something. He didn't. He literally didn't. If you watch that back and at the angle that I was watching it as, of like actually looking directly at him, he got the ball and he literally didn't even touch him. Like it literally was that clear. And I don't get Martin Keown, who kept on saying it was a definite penalty. It was a definite. What was he watching?
Martin Keown was pissing me off so much.
He hates us.
Mate,
he hates Brighton.
Oh, mate, he was so annoying. It's an outrage. How is that not a penalty? I was like, shut up, Martin, mate. You don't know.
That's coming from a defender as well.
Literally.
Yeah, honestly. But no.
Exactly. That's what I don't get.
Mate, it was so frustrating. But no, mate, I agree with you, Ryan. Only thing I do disagree with you on is I personally think he did get a touch on him after. So he's got the ball. Well,
maybe.
As in like the balls, he's won the ball, I say, first, and then he's made contact on Trezeguet. And now my understanding of the law is, so again, I could be wrong, but my understanding of the law is if you get the ball first and then make contact, it's not a foul, I think. So by the letter of the law, it's the correct decision, and there's no arguments around it.
Tackles like that happen every week in any level of football. You get that. If you can't do that, then you might as well just sack the game.
You're not wrong.
Look, how are you supposed to stop him? What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just let him run through. Oh, here you go. I have a free shot goal. No, you're going to put your leg in the way to stop the ball from getting.
Dean Smith cracked me up. Though. Sorry, let me just clear my throat. There you go. Dean Smith cracked me up so much. He was like, I could hear the contact from the manager's box. I was like, no, you couldn't. How are you going to hear like a clip of the shin from where you were stood? That is the biggest load of bull ever. And he was complaining. He was like, if we took our chances, we would have won the game. I was like, mate, we've been experiencing that the past 10 games, lad.
Yeah.
So, well, it's annoying.
Welbeck.
Sign a free agent, you'll be right.
But what I did say to the Villa fans was, if that had been me, so if we were Villa and that had happened to us, obviously we would have been aggrieved as well. Like you've been given a penalty and then it's been taken away from you. But then, you can understand the sort of frustrations around it, obviously being awarded a penalty so late on, and then for it to be taken away. But let's be clear, it was the right decision. So you can't really argue against it, really. So, but yeah, interesting.
I don't think I've ever lost it that much as to when that guy pointed to the spot. I literally, in the house anyway, I literally was just like, what? I've never shouted that much at home.
The interesting thing about it was Peter Walton on BT afterwards, he was saying it shouldn't have been a penalty, not because of the foul, but because it wasn't a clear and obvious error. So what the VAR is meant to do is if the referee made a clear and obvious error, then he's meant to go look at the screen. But in Peter Walton's eyes, Michael Oliver said that Michael Oliver's mistake wasn't a clear and obvious error, so he shouldn't have gone to the screen. So it should have been a penalty. Yeah.
What is he talking about?
Too many ins and outs in it.
I don't even understand what that even means.
I mean, he's just chat.
I don't even get the law of the game.
He's absolutely waffling.
Well, because if Solly March had 2-footed Trezeguet, then that's obviously obvious. But because it was like a small clip, that's not an obvious error. That makes sense.
That's just mental.
That's what he's saying.
It wasn't a foul, basically. That's what I can say. It wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
That saved our result. But going back to the actual game we missed, Ben White's challenge that pretty much saved our game.
That was incredible.
Mm-hmm. That was incredible. Unbelievable.
Ben White was great.
Yeah.
Ben White was great.
That was huge. And one thing I want to talk about Ben White is obviously he's a great player. There's sort of no doubt about that. But my only question is, do you think that he as a player is not enjoying, I don't know how to word this properly, but do you think that him being sort of going from centre-back to CDM, then back to centre-back, then to CDM, do you think he's getting annoyed by that? Or do you think that's, does he not mind, do you think?
It's part of being a footballer, isn't it? You've got to adapt to what your manager wants you to do. You can't say where you want to play, otherwise you're not going to start. It's as simple as that. And I think, I don't know, he played really well again in midfield. I think every time he's played in midfield, he's done really well. I'd still like to see Alzate personally, but I think Ben White's been doing a great job, and he put in a great tackle to save that from that chance. I can't remember who was it. Was it
Watkins? Was it?
I think
so. Grealish, Watkins. Watkins maybe. But no, I thought he played really well, and like if he has to play midfield, he has to play midfield. If he has to play defence, that's down to the manager. That's not down to him.
What Naylor said about him playing CDM was because he can cover for the fullbacks or the wing backs. That made sense. But also, Maz, I thought you were going to say, does he prefer playing for Leeds and Brighton? No, I was thinking it's kind of like you sound like that ex-girlfriend. You sound like the current girlfriend says, does he like my love his ex-girlfriend more than us? I do think that sometimes. I might be that crazy girlfriend that thinks he loves her more than she loves me.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair though, because of what Leeds fans done when the whole like on social media they're going all mad and like they're a weird bunch. Let's be real, at the best time, and they're just doing some weird stuff like on social media and like saying, oh, he's ours, he wants to stay at ours, and obviously I think that's going to put sort of like a seed of doubt in your mind a little bit going forward. Like you sort of you question his.
Of course, he's going to love Leeds though. Isn't he?
No doubt. Like,
he's always going to love Leeds. He's always going to love
exactly.
To get that treatment, he's only 22 there, and he's going to still love the club, but he's our player now, so they can.
Yeah, exactly.
He's ours.
And also like he's our man. When his agent did what he did on Sky Sports, like that didn't help as well. Like all those little things that happen. I think. But then the last question on Ben White is, what's his best position? We'll start with you, Ben. What's his best position for you? CDM or centre back?
Oh, I prefer his best position. Yeah, I'd have to say centre back. I prefer him at centre back as well.
And you prefer him there?
I like him in a 3 with Duncan Webster, even though Webster's been pretty iffy. But those 3 in the future, I want to see them playing.
Ryan?
Yeah, I think probably centre back, but I do love him in midfield because he hasn't done anything wrong there. Like I think his biggest problem, I'd say, that I've sort of seen so far, is he loves to dive in, and that's a bad thing. That's his bad trait. As soon as he cuts that out, because I remember Dunk used to do it religiously in the Championship. He would just dive in, and even in his first season in the Prem, he would dive in, and then the guys just because if you're as good as the Rashfords and Salahs of the league, you're gonna know he's gonna do that, and you're just gonna turn around him. And that's the one bad thing about White, I think, at centre back, that he doesn't do so much in midfield because he doesn't have to, and I think he just sort of thinks he has to dive in at the end. But other than that, I think defence, he's I think he's both. Brilliant. I think he's a great talent.
So I think Veltman I was very impressed with Veltman, to be fair. We signed him for 900k, which is mental.
I agree.
Which is, was it our biggest signing of the summer? Which is mental. That's like playing in League One.
No, it's mad.
Yeah, and he was brilliant. Like, he obviously was heavily involved in the build up for our second goal. Played the ball to Mopé over the top to Ben White.
This is what I was going to say. I was going to say, because basically I was very critical of Potter's substitutions when he made them. So I think the score was 1-1 at the time, and I remember he brought on. So who was it? Lallana got injured.
He brought Veltman
on, I'll put my hands up and say, look, I was thinking, why is it like? Let's be more positive. You know, the game's 1-1. We've looked all right in the first half.
It's 1-0 at that point, though.
Oh, yeah, of course. So I was like 1-0. Let's keep up with the positivity. Let's keep the pressure on. And then he brings Veltman on. I just thought it was a bit negative. And then he then proceeded to bring on someone else as well. Defensive. Who else did he bring on? That was defensive minded.
Oh, God, I can't even remember.
Yeah, my brain's gone. But yeah, basically he didn't bring any of like the attacking options on, and I was a bit like, but obviously it paid off, and a fair play. I put my hands up and say,
Dan Burn.
Yeah, that's it, Dan Burn. And I was thinking, why are you doing that, Potter? Like, it sort of annoyed me a little bit. But looking back,
holding on to a win for 45
I think in a game like
that,
I think in a game like that with a team like Villa, he knew that they're going to come and really push us, and I think Veltman, as you say, he's been so underrated this season because no one's really given him the light, but I think he's been brilliant. I don't think he's done anything wrong at all, and I expect him to probably go right back for Lamptey's game out. But
if Lamptey wasn't suspended,
I think
I'd put the question there for you two. If Lamptey wasn't suspended and he was playing, then do you think Veltman should have started ahead of Webster for the Liverpool game? Do you think he should? If Lamptey,
I think it's the problem with the left-footed thing, isn't it? That's the trouble. The left-footed thing. It's why Webster's there. You can't have a right-footed left centre-back because then otherwise it messes it up. And I think that's why Webster's there, because he's best with his weaker foot.
So.
Yeah, but he's good with his left. Yeah. He's got a good left. Whereas Dunk, if it was Dunk on his left, you'd be a bit... And if White was on his left, you'd be a bit... So it's either him or Burn, for that sport.
I personally, I don't know. Yeah, it's a very good question. I feel like Veltman is in better form than him at the moment. But yeah, I sort of agree with what Ryan's saying as well. It's a difficult one. You want to get the balance right. It's so hard to get the balance right.
Exactly. Veltman spent his whole career on the right side of defence. Like throughout his Ajax career, he's always been on the right side. So it'd be silly to put him on the left, and risk it for him to have a complete howler and then get on the fans get on his back and whatever. So
no, agreed, and I think thankfully we're not the gaffer, so that's one for Potter to one for Potter to make. Exactly. And then final thing on the games, just before we go on to sort of previewing and looking forward to the Liverpool game, we just want to talk. I just want to talk about like something that someone in my WhatsApp group said. He's a Villa fan, right? I got this. I went to uni with him. Shout out to Jack, and he said in the first half, he said that Villa, right? Wait for this. He said Villa dominated us in the first half. Now, I just want to ask you guys' opinion on that. Do you think Aston Villa dominated us in the first half?
The bloke's deluded, whoever his name is, Jack.
I'd say to be fair, before our goal, they were all over us. Before we scored, it was all Villa because it was completely against the run of play when we scored. That's why they were so high up. But yeah, I think it'd be unfair to say they dominated us because I think maybe in the last half of the
because I think the word
they piled it on.
The word domination,
we did hang on a bit.
The word domination is a very big word to use. Like dominated for me in my eyes is like if you got let's say 90% possession or 80% possession, the other team hasn't had any chances. But you look at in the first half, we had what Welbeck had a heavy touch, could have scored. You had Mopé's chance. You had Lallana who hit wide. Like in the first half, I thought arguably we were well worth our lead. We could have been 2-3-1 up
them as well.
Yeah, and obviously Trezeguet missed a big chance, which could have changed the game. But yeah, I just found it a bit of a weird statement to make, saying that they dominated us for the game. But
Oh, sorry, we actually forgot to mention another key thing that they've talked about in Match of the Day. The Welbeck and Mopé link up, how impressive were they? And do you reckon that's the way we've got to be going forward? Two up front, really. It worked quite well for us.
I said it a while ago, didn't I, about the Welbeck Mopé thing? And I think, with Mopé's running, he doesn't stop. And I didn't realise how much pace Welbeck had.
Yeah,
when I saw him running through, I was thinking he's going to get caught.
Yeah,
he's really quick. And
Tyrone Mings is really slow.
He's a big guy.
One of them.
Bit of both. Yeah. But no, I thought they worked really well. And when Mope's running, we probably didn't. When I watched them analyse it, I didn't realise how much Mope was actually doing off the ball, because a lot of people would be quick to say that Mope had a poor game again, because that's what people love to do now. But again, he had good running. He held the ball up well again. And I think, he probably should have scored his chance, or at least done a little bit better. I still think it's not as easy as what people think to take on a goalie that's 25 yards off his line.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I thought, them two working together, that I think they could be really, really good, especially if Welbeck keeps up that sort of clinical nature that he seems to show so far.
Yeah, hopefully Connolly and Mope can work learn a bit from Welbeck.
Connolly's got a lot to learn, hasn't he? I do like him as a player. He's just got a long way to go. I think maybe a loan for him at some point soon could be. Good.
We need backup. We need backup up front for that before we.
That's the thing. With Andone, Zakiri, we've got maybe a chance when they come a bit more.
Hopefully,
that'd be interesting to see. Yeah. All right, buzzing, and then looking forward to Liverpool game then. So the big news let's start with Liverpool, sort of from their end. Obviously, Salah got tested negative for COVID, so he was out against Leicester.
I was gutted.
Against Leicester, but I think he's 99% going to be back for our game, which is which is not good. And even like I was saying this to my mates last night. So obviously they played Leicester last night, and they, even with probably about 10 major injuries to their squad, they still beat Leicester, who are flying themselves 3-0, which that scares me. I'm not going to lie. Like that scares me.
Thiago Jota is on fire, that bloke.
He's incredible.
He looks like Mohamed Salah, like the way he plays. Like he's at Salah's level at the moment. He's on hot form.
Yeah. So
when Jota gets to the sort of level that Salah is, Salah, he sort of changed in the way he plays. Like before, he would be the quick, pacey winger who would get in behind and score. Now he's sort of turned into like a Messi type thing, where he doesn't run too much, walks around a bit. Then when he gets the ball, he'll go and attack you. And that's what scares me a lot about him, because he's so dangerous. And I've got a lot of time for Salah. I think anyone who knows me will know that. I think he's quality, and like when he'll play against us, he loves scoring against us as well. Yeah. So he's going to be quite scary to deal with.
I mean,
who else are they out with? Well, they've got no Thiago. It's a long list, I know that.
Obviously,
no Thiago, Gomez, Van Dijk. They've got a lot out, but still, they are very strong. There's a reason why they're champions of the country and Europe.
Sort of importantly, and obviously, I wish him all the best. But Naby Keita did pick up an injury, so I think that's going to rule him out of the game. So they are really, like, the squad's really, really thin, which, I mean, like I said, it still looks like it doesn't matter because they're still beating Leicester 3-0. From our perspective, they are a bit thin on the ground, so that could potentially work in our favour. But we'll see. But I know, Ben, you mentioned it earlier, the question of who starts in front of Lamptey, who starts instead of Lamptey. Who do you reckon? And do you think it's just a straight swap Veltman? Is that what we reckon?
It's going to have to be. I can't think of any other right backs we have other than Veltman.
It will either be Veltman or Alzate, won't it? Alzate can do a good job in right wing back.
But I doubt he will he?
Yeah, I can't see Pop. Yeah,
but no, whether he'll do it, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happened to Alzate. I really like him, but I don't know where he's gone. What's happened to him?
Yeah, what's going on?
But just seems a bit out of favour at the moment, really.
No idea.
It's weird.
And it's not looking good.
It's a shame, because I do really like him.
Especially in January, if we get Moda back, then that's another person ahead of him potentially in the starting lineup. So
But this is the thing, though. What I was wondering was, with like Alzate being in the squad, and also, like, for example, Ryan, you mentioned him a few times, Zakiri, where I think there was a statement from Potter who goes, "Oh, he's looked really good in training. I really like him. Blah blah blah," and then just hasn't, and then we don't see him, and I'm just a bit like, what's going on? Yeah. And obviously, Alzate, he's been really good. Same sort of thing. Like, he's been on the bench, but we haven't seen much of him, which is all a bit strange sometimes.
I find the Alzate one strange, but then I suppose you can't drop any of our midfielders at the minute. Bissouma, Lallana, Gross has been fantastic.
Yeah.
White has been great in midfield. So, you can't drop any of them.
I was going to say,
and I suppose the decision behind the whole Lallana coming off with injury, bringing Veltman on was probably a good decision in the end. So, where do you go? I mean, it's a shame for Alzate, because I do like him a lot. But then when you break it down, there's not much chance of him getting in at the moment.
I feel like Gross has been good because of Lamptey. And now that Lamptey's going to be out and suspended, I don't know. He's not going to have that guy bombing forward.
And Lallana as well.
Yeah.
But I was just about to say, does anyone know what's going on with Lallana? Do we know if it's serious? Do we know if it's...
Not sure. We'll probably know more towards the end of the week.
Yeah. So with Lallana, look, don't get me wrong. Again, he's a class player. He's a class player, and he's been incredible for us. But what is going on with his injuries? Like it seems like every other game he's getting injured, and it's just so frustrating.
It's just his career, isn't it? It's the story of his career. He could have been a great player for Liverpool, and all Liverpool fans will say he was one of the best players, one of the best talents, but he got injured too much. Yeah. But it's just it's a shame, really, because he's so good.
That's the thing, I just felt really, really bad for him. Like, he just, as soon as he starts to find a bit of form, like in the first half against Liverpool, against Aston Villa, he was class. Like, again, like, one of our better players, always in the heart of things. And it was just like, he's injured. Like, at half time, like, he's come off injured. I'm just like, for fuck's sake, like, what is going on? Like, it's just so frustrating. Like, I just want him just to be fully fit and we get the best out of him. And I was always worried when he first came. It's either going to be we're going to get brilliant performances like every week and week out, or he's just going to have like a bit part player and play. So it'll be interesting to see if he's going to be fit for the next game against Liverpool, because he'd obviously love that against his old club as well, and he'll be a really big miss if we don't. That would be interesting. But anything else on the Liverpool sort of the game? Anything that guys want to analyse with regards to Liverpool?
Only thing I'd say is with Trossard, I'm not sure what's going on with him, whether he'll be back. He could be a bit of a miss. I think one thing we could say about Lamptey being out is I think it could be a blessing in disguise. I put a tweet on about that. Just saying, I think it would be nice for the boy to have a bit of a rest. I mean, he's been in England and he comes back and he's playing this game. It would be, it's a game where against Liverpool where, let's be honest, we're probably going to lose. It's a game that it's a bit of a throwaway game as far as we're concerned.
No, agreed.
So, one that was nothing to lose.
Veltman's more of a defensive defender against Mane as well.
Yeah.
So
there's that, and he also. But then saying that, he got up really well in the Champions League for Ajax when they had that unbelievable run up, and when they got done by Spurs in the end. But he was up and down a lot. He does like to take players on. So he's still got that. He's probably not got the pace that Lamptey
I was just about to say.
He's still an option. He's still an option.
I was just about to say about the pace.
He's a Champions League player, isn't he? At the end of the day.
I think that's the only thing. Well, not the only thing, but the big thing is obviously Mane's pace against Lamptey would have been, a very good match. Like he would have been able to keep up with him. But I think defensively, Veltman obviously is much better at the moment defensively in terms of like positionally awareness, and he's been in the game longer, etc. So no. That'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. And then final thing, boys. A couple of things. So the big news today was that the
pubs.
No, Ben. Stop. Sorry about Ben, guys. We've got to apologise. He wants his Moretti's more than he wants the football, clearly. But no, the BBC they've announced that we're going to get a maximum of 4,000 fans allowed into outdoor events. So on after the 2nd of December, I believe. So first question I want to ask, because this has been I actually wondered this. How are they going to do this 4,000? So like, who is it point based? Is it loyalty based? How are they going to do it?
It's a ballot, isn't it? It's a ballot. So I think season ticket holders enter into a ballot and then just get the names pulled out. That's what I believe is the case. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know what I propose?
It's only for the lowest risk areas as well, though, isn't it? So it's only going to be the tier 1.
Which we are, aren't we? Brighton in the Sussex area.
Wait, hold on.
Pretty low.
Wait, hold on. So I think so. So, for example, let's say Brighton will have fans in the stadium, but let's say, for example, Man City won't.
Yeah,
might not.
Yeah.
Surely that's unfair, isn't it?
No,
surely that's not. No, I mean, that's
the modern world we're in now.
It's down to the Manchester fans constantly going out and spreading COVID, whereas our sensible Sally's down south. We've got football in our mind.
No, that's fair. That's fair enough. And
also it sounds really weird. Sorry, Maz. It sounds really weird, but it's going to be an incentive for the likes of Manchester, the Manchester public, going to think, right, actually, we want to get back in the ground. Let's be sensible and stay indoors. It might be an actual incentive for them.
Yeah, I was going to suggest one way of doing it. So the 4,000 that get selected is by doing a Takeshi Takeshi Castle style thing. So like basically people have to go through an assault course to get their space in the stadium. So like you just imagine us three as part of like a 10,000 big group, like whoever the first 4,000 to get past the track,
running down Devil's Dyke.
Gets to go into the Amex. I would pay to watch that. That would be class.
That would be funny.
But yeah, so that's very, very good news.
Hopefully they have that testing as well at the stadiums. Make them be able to get more in. I don't know how true or legit that is, but if that happens, then we might be able to get more than 4,000.
Well, we mentioned it on the Casper pod, didn't we? I think it's like a 5-minute test where like you basically do it all there on the spot, and then within 5 minutes you get your result. But so surely, if you get to the stadium and they're like, "Sorry, mate, you got COVID," and then you just have to turn back, you're going to be so
get home, go to hospital.
You're going to be so angry. You're going to be so angry.
Go to the pub then. Yeah,
you're like, "Oh my god, I've got there."
Yeah, exactly. People won't care.
First game, I've got there, and then he's like, "Nah, sorry, mate, you're going to have to get off." So. Sorry about that, geez. But no, there you go. That's a nice way to end. So fingers crossed we can build on the great result. So just to summarise, great result, great team performance. I think everyone played really well. And it was great just for us to finish our chances for once and actually celebrate a
win.
Yeah.
To grind out a result was nice.
No, exactly.
Not perhaps go for the way where we play really nice and don't get anything, but we ground out a result and we got. Maybe not what we ultimately deserved, but we got a good result.
100%.
So we'll take it.
Well
take
said,
that, Grealish.
Yeah.
Have that Grealish.
Shove that up.
Cheat.
Yeah. and of course, as per every week, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does really help with our reach and gets us out there. And of course, if you are listening as well, make sure to leave us a nice little review as well if you do enjoy it, of course. No pressure. But of course, thank you very much for listening, and we shall see you next week.